Hi guys, Bethany Davis here, all things life and fitness. Today is my very first YouTube video. It's just different. I'm used to talking to you guys on my Instagram stories and you'd think that this would be the same, but it's not. My husband's standing right there. You're gonna have to not stand right back there. I'm staring into a camera versus my phone. Just a little different. Today's topic, I wanna share with you guys my fitness journey. And be sure to stick around at the end of this video because at the end, I'm gonna give you 3 simple tips that I've learned through my journey that might help you if you're just starting out in yours, and hopefully they'll inspire you. I started my fitness journey about 13 years ago, maybe actually longer now, like 15 years ago. And so I've learned a lot of things throughout my journey, and I want to just share it with you guys and hope that I can inspire you guys along the way. My fitness journey began 15 years ago. I ran track in high school. Well, back up. Growing up, I did a sport called vaulting, which is actually gymnastics on the back of a live running horse. Pretty crazy. It's something you'd see in the circus. I did that for probably 15 years. I was really big into horses, and I ended up competing in the World Equestrian Games in Spain in 2002. So that was my fitness growing up. I did no other sports. I was homeschooled in elementary school, so I really didn't even know how to jump rope. In high school, I ran track my senior year and cross country. I did not love it. I really didn't like running at all. I think I ran track for the boys. Graduated high school, went to college. I really wanted to be an athletic trainer. So started off as an athletic training major, worked with the different sports teams at my college. I really liked it, but I found myself sitting on the sidelines when I got to the football rotation, really just hoping someone got injured so I had something to do other than be the water girl. So I quickly realized that that's not what I wanted to do. So I switched to applied health, which is physical therapy, worked in a physical therapy clinic, didn't love it. Meanwhile, I was not working out in college. I was eating bean and cheese burritos every day, 3 times a day, eating whatever you eat in the dorm, food in the cafeteria, unlimited food. So I gained the typical freshman 15 plus 15 more pounds. I, again, was not working out. I remember I had friends who liked to run, and they would say, come run with me. And I would go on a quick run with them, and I would tell them that I had athletic-induced asthma because I could not keep up, and I was huffing and puffing. And again, running was not my thing. So my college added a new major, which was applied exercise science, and I switched to that. I ended up just falling in love with everything about the science behind fitness. So I got an internship at a Crossfit gym. It was like a CrossFit gym and a sports training facility. Ended up being a paid internship. They offered me a job, so I started working there, working out every day, lost all my 30 pounds and more, got really fit, and actually competed in a couple CrossFit competitions. I got CrossFit certified, coached for 5 years, CrossFit, and just was hooked. Then shortly after college, John and I got married, and right after that, I got pregnant. Unexpectedly. We were really excited though. And so my fitness just kind of was walking with friends or going to the gym here and there when I could, but it really wasn't consistent. Shortly after that, we moved to Northern California, and I was just fully in motherhood mode, being a new mom, not really having the time to go to the gym. Our first son actually had very bad separation anxiety, so I couldn't even take him to the kids club at the gym. He would just cry the whole time. So my workouts really were just whatever I did at home or working out in the park with friends. And this kind of became my thing. And I had other mom friends hey, can we work out in the park together? So I coordinated group fitness workouts in the park. And I would have mom friends that would come from my mom's group, and we would work out together. The kids would play, we would walk, we would work out, and it was a lot of fun. I don't like you standing there either.
I'll share her journey. Oh my gosh, guys, my name's Bethany, and I like to work out.
Get out of here.
Follow me, BFAT Davis.
My workouts in the park became really popular, and pretty soon my entire mom's group was working out in the park with me. I had a lot of friends say, you should make this a business, you should start coaching. And I just thought to myself, I kept telling them like, no, I've been there, done that. My coaching days are over because I coached all through college and I was kind of burnt out on working at a gym. A couple years later, my good friend Carrie, she had run several marathons and half marathons. And she was like, hey, you should do a half marathon with me. And I laughed at her. I was like, that's crazy. I am not a runner. I ran track in high school and I hated it. Can't do that. So she said, let's just go on a run this Saturday and we'll take it slow. So I still remember, we ran 5 miles at like a 10-minute mile pace and I finished it. I think I wanted to die halfway through, but I finished it and I was hooked. Shortly after, was like, you should train for a half marathon with me. And I did. So we began training, and a couple months into training, I found out I was pregnant with our second son. And I was so far into training that I just decided, with the permission of my doctor, I just continued to train and ended up finishing my first half marathon when I was 4 months pregnant. So after that, I loved running. I think that, with motherhood being so busy, it was my time where no little one was touching me. I got to just go out on a run and zone out and just not have to think about anything or have any responsibilities. So after that, thought I'm gonna run a full marathon. Signed up for my first full marathon, got through training, spent a lot of time, training pretty good. A lot of my training was done with my friend. And a week before my first full marathon, I found out I was pregnant with our third son. And so again, my doctor gave me the go-ahead and I finished my first marathon. And I still remember crossing the finish line looking at my husband and saying, I will never do that again. And like a month later, I signed up for another one. So after giving birth to our third son, I wanted to run another marathon. So I registered for one, and now I had a big goal to qualify for the Boston Marathon. I ran 2 marathons, I think, and then on my third marathon, I qualified and ended up running the Boston Marathon in 2018. If you are familiar with that race that year, I like to say that I swam it. It was so cold. It was snowing at the start line. Throughout the 26.2 miles, we had every weather condition you could possibly think of. It rained, it snowed, there was sleet, like 50-mile-an-hour gusts of winds. It was crazy. There were so many people that ended up not finishing the race, getting medically treated, hypothermia. It was wild. It was by far, still to this day, the hardest thing I've ever done. So I ran the Boston Marathon 4 months postpartum with our 4th child, Nora. So I primarily trained for this race on the treadmill, which was not ideal, but I had a newborn baby. John was working crazy hours, and so it was really my only option. I think it's, again, one of my hardest things I've ever done, but also my biggest accomplishments. Since the start of my running career, I've ran 8 marathons, and recently I have gotten really into CrossFit again. I'm pretty sure, just like I said I would never run a full marathon again, I think that there was a time where I told John that I would never do CrossFit again. I think it's great to switch your fitness up and try one thing, run a half marathon. And after you do that, if you want to take a break from running and become a cyclist and go set a goal of a 100-mile bike race. Yeah, so it's great to switch things up when I get bored. Sometimes I enjoy working out at the gym and just lifting weights, putting on my music, not talking to anyone. And so I'll do that for a while, and then I get the urge to run a race again, and I'll train for a race and run a half marathon. Do what you love and find what you love and switch things up. Hey, now is a good time. If you guys haven't already done so, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the thumbs up button, and leave what you want to see in the comments. when you guys like and subscribe, this tells YouTube that more people want to see this, so more people could have the opportunity to be inspired by this video. And then it motivates me to make more content for you guys. So subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know in the comments what you want to see next, topics you want to see in future videos, and I will be sure to respond to every one of you. So currently, my fitness, again, I have fallen back in love with CrossFit. And I recently applied to the Titan Games with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, that show. My kids inspired me to do it. I had never seen the show before, but the boys inspired me to do it. And it was while I was still running, so I kind of told them like, no, I can't train for that. I would have to be doing CrossFit to be able to be fit enough for that show. And shortly after that, my friends opened a CrossFit gym here in town, and they asked if I would coach a couple days a week, and I said yes. It was like the perfect opportunity. I felt like it was just the perfect timing after my kids had just asked me to apply for this show. I'm back training for the Titan Games. I'm doing CrossFit and I love it. I love the community of it. I have friends that I work out with every morning. And that's really just what I love doing right now. People ask me all the time, are you going to get back into running? And the answer is absolutely yes. I miss racing. I miss running. And so I will run again. There's just no races right now, and I'm pretty competitive, and so I like to have something that I'm training for, which leads me into my 3 simple steps if you're just starting out your fitness journey. 3 tips that I would give you if you're just starting out your journey is 1, to set goals. Set big goals and small goals. A big goal would be the goal of if you want to start running, the goal of a 5K race or the goal of a half marathon. But then it's also important to set simple, small, attainable goals to keep you motivated to get to that big goal. Sometimes I feel like if we set a goal that's too big without breaking down the simple steps to get there, it can just seem impossible, which it's not. No goal is too big. You can do it and you can get there. You just have to focus on the day-to-day little goals and simple steps to get there. So again, a big goal would be like a 5K race or a half marathon race. And the simple steps would be the training, the day-to-day training that gets there, fueling your body right, getting those runs in, getting that long run in, the day-to-day little goals, and celebrate those little goals. So if you get to where you can run 1 mile, if you're training for a 5K, a 10K, or a half marathon, but you get to where you can run 1 mile straight without walking, that's a huge accomplishment. And that might be one of your smaller goals, but celebrate that. That's something really worth celebrating. So the second tip is be consistent. Sometimes I think, especially at the start of the new year, we get really ambitious with big goals, which again is great to have big goals, but we just lose that day-to-day consistency. And consistency is so important in seeing results with whatever your goals be. If your goal is weight loss, if your goal is muscle gain, if your goal is to run a race, you have to be consistent in order to reach that goal. The third and final tip is learn to be disciplined. Again, we can have all the motivation in the world at first, but motivation only lasts for so long. I get asked quite often, like, how do I be as motivated as you? Or how do you keep motivation every single day? And the truth is I don't. I'm not motivated every day. Like, I wake up and there are plenty of days where I don't want to work out, but it's part of my daily routine. I've made it a lifestyle. It's a habit for me. If I don't work out, I actually feel more tired throughout the day. So learn to be disciplined. So when motivation is not there, you do it anyways. And of course, that doesn't mean not listening to your body when you actually need a rest, or if you're not feeling well, definitely rest. But learning to be disciplined is so important to reach your goals. Be sure to come back for more, because my next video, I have 7 things that I wish I knew before starting my fitness journey. John.